then you can get an account with all those skins.
Well, I'd buy myself into the game because that looks like what we're doing here. Jumping to the land of Dawn, this best of one. Saudi Arabia versus Indonesia here. Taking a look as well at the emblems as we talked about the drafts. Once again, you have so much tankiness over on this other side. Again, 2 revitalize, 1 for each team. I think Pink also, you know, she's going to have to be able to set things up with the Avatar of the Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
My biggest question from this draft, too, was the fact that, you know, we don't see CC too often anymore, man. And, you know, do you think it's still a good, valuable pick for certain compositions, or is it just so niche now in the current meta?
I think it's a great pick up against the high-lows, up against usually very, very high HP opponents. But the thing is, I think Indonesia kind of baited the CC pick with the high-lows pick. They, again, high-lows, even though most of the time we do see him more in towards the roam, or actually more in XP, right? We see it way more in XP. It doesn't mean you can't utilize it as roam. So Indonesia picked it up very early, showed Saudi Arabia their cards, and Saudi Arabia was like, all right, we're going to pick up the CC. It's probably going to be an XP high-lows because we're not really used to seeing Vivian on a roamer like this. We're used to seeing those big moments from Vivian. They got baited completely. Indonesia said, we didn't even want to put the high-lows into XP. We're going to go and Arlet it out, put the high-lows in roam, and get the same amount of pressure on the map with the high-lows.
I think that's one of the great things, though, and even though we've seen those changes in our meta, you know, when it comes to the drafting, you're still able to go flex on Cine.
A few stacks down onto Sage, still able to survive now. Lancer and Flare just on Pink, putting a damage down. Whoa, Pink! Walking up a bit aggressive. Senior is very low, prop back under the turret, now stunned up by Vivel! It's a shadow kill defensively with a Curse Blast as well, but the Execute is still ready. Vivel doesn't even need it. We'll just basic attack Rafa down. 2-0 start for Indonesia.
And this is why that Jushin pick is either banned out quite often or it's picked up. I mean,
countered by Eve.
Or countered by Eve. How do you play against this Lantern Flare and just being thrown, again, thrown into the turret this time around? And this early in the game, those turret shots, even if it's just one, it's going to take quite a bit of health. And look at the pressure now on the purple buff.
Yep.
Going to zone them out. Objective is secured by Indonesia.
Uh-oh.
Now they're going to have to deal with this.
Pink thrown back again. Vivel still in the midst of it all. Now dishing out damage again. Assassinating. They got the Kacha. Glorious Pathway zoning them all the way to final slash to displace her. Still able to escape for a bit. Rafa walks in with a quad shadow. Able to get a kill back now. Purple buff. Going to be contested. Vivel takes it away. Will lose out on Cine. But they get a whole lot of even Chell. Rotates to the mid lane, gets the Menace Rage, and shoves the wave back in towards Saudi Arabia.
That's a whole lot, once again, this early on for Indonesia. At least, you know, Saudi Arabia will get a kill, and it also goes in the hands of Rafa. That's great as a Hayabusa, but still, you want to be able to go ahead and secure your purple buff as much as possible, right? And that's why we're already, too. You can see the damage coming out from just from Chell here, using that Renner and keeping Lunar in check, so she might actually need some backup here. Pink is nearly level 4, but look at the response. The rotation's already coming down. They know half health for Lunar. They might want to actually put some pressure here, and that's the thing. Every time Cine rotates to these lanes, it's so difficult to play against because even if you're trying to get the positioning, whoa, that was a Renner shot that goes and gets the kill on Lunar.
Oh, Lunar definitely has to be a bit more, you know, mobile with the 1-1 here in the gold lane. I get that she was trying to... Oh, another shot, by the way, for Chell. She's just hitting every single shot. Now another. Okay, Pink will be able to dodge. But like Renmar said and speculated, they're just going to go into the bottom lane now. Vivian taking a few of those turret shots. The Lancer Flare counters or cancels the AOG. They still get to the end. The stun comes in as well with the Eternal Guard there to provide enough peel so that Indonesia can't get that kill. But again, Lunar has been standing still a lot in the lane, man. Easy target for Chell.
Yeah, Chell's been on point with the shots so far, but I will say, for Saudi Arabia, at least they didn't go down, you know, any further there. I almost expected Pink to go ahead and defensively use the Avatar of the Guardian out a little bit further.
Oh, man.
It looks like she actually able to secure that buff there. Lyric's going to be in trouble here.
Yeah,
multiple members. Rafa did get it. So they might just be prepping up once again. You know, fighting for these buffs are the main point for Saudi Arabia to go ahead and allow Rafa to get to a point where she's a threat, because you're taking a look at the items, you know, still doesn't have that first one locked in. You already had the Hunter Strike, though, on the other side here for Vivel. So we'll see. Do they actually contest this objective, or do they let it go? They're lacking some of the damage from lane to lane. It looks like they'll have to give up the turtle. Once again, the fight, though.
Possibly the orange buff here. Good time over with the AOG. Rafa going to be poked down now as Glorious Pathway gets placed out with the Revitalize. Crossbow attack, translating over to Vivel, but she's still able to blink away. And Indonesia will get a turtle, and they won't be able to get a kill. Chell back in the mid lane, just double laning at this point.
How much gold, you know, she's already got. That's why she's essentially double laning at this point. And yeah, an objective secured is great for Indonesia. Lunar, though, you know, the fact that she wants to go ahead and contest and fight in a lot of these situations where she's got to also rely on Pink, she might have to be careful in the positioning. That's the biggest thing. Shell patiently waiting, line up shot. Won't land it that time. Might as well continue to take those shots if you can too, you know, because at some point, Miracle, Lunar is going to be providing that good damage burst once she pops that crossbow of Tang. The hardest part about it is obviously getting it activated and then using it at the right moment. Looks like they're going to go ahead and switch lanes up too. Still, the purple buff battle continues for Rafa.
Yeah, just pure aggro now. Livin pops in an Eternal Guard. Fumieko just escapes from it. It's a free purple buff take for Indonesia. Nothing they can even do about it. They walk up, they're dead, right? Vivo is 3 levels ahead now. Oh, man. They're looking to go for the bottom lane trade, perhaps onto Chell. Let's see if Chell reads this out. Oh, Cine just opens it up. Rafa will have to just walk away, and you can see the pressure now.
Oh, no.
Down onto Lyrics. She does have the Vengeance already. AOG going to be coming down with the Lantern Flare, but still the Nibiru's Bastion will be able to take her down. Cine in the midst of it all, popping in the Crimson Beacon, and Pink will just be thrown back and forth into Indonesia again.
Feels bad, you know, to get caught under that turret with nowhere to go and just 4 members of Indonesia staring you down. And even when you try to pop that Vengeance, it's just not enough. You can see this Rafa. She might be gone this time around. Shadow Kill going to be popped. She gets the buff. Is she going to get out with her life? No. Glorious Pathway able to juke down to the turret.
Yep, Bennett's Rage 2. Vival just needs one last hit. Shell goes in for the Nibiru to get the final basic attack as Lyrics actually dishes out a bit of damage over towards Vival. Lantern Flare into the Nibiru's Bastion, gunning her down inside of the Tier 2. Getting the kill too, man. And the Tier 2 is already at half HP. As it's perfect timing now for the 3rd and final turtle of the game. Lunar sniped down Cine now, popping a Lantern on her. AOG, Crimson Beacon, Cine looking for the damage. Now with the flicker forward, Lunar trying to outplay the situation with the Inspire, but still will be taken down. Pink getting a trade, but it's an MM4, a mid lane as Vival, again, just clears out the wave, and on the Suyo, you're just so hard to catch.
This is where that point, you know you have this lead, you know you have pressure, you just continue to put it on too. Malefic Gun now picked up by Shell, so, you know, she's been on point with all the shots for the most part. Even if it doesn't get a kill, but you get someone down less than half health, you know that you can also secure that kill, and that's what they're doing. Again, massive lead here in terms of economy and everything else. They're going to force it.
Whoa, final slash from Fumieko, finding 3. Just slashing them all the way back to Chell to go for the free hits. And even with Rafa popping a Shadow Kill, she gets stunned up and just gunned down Chell. Looking for the shot, now sniping them down. Livin will take the shot, another snipe from Vivo with the arrow. And Indonesia gets 2, trading it in just for Fumieko.
Think how many things you have to dodge here, Miracle. You have to dodge.
Too many.
A shot from Shell plus the arrow from the Suyo for Vival. It's too much, you know, even when you get collapsed down to the turret, you're just playing a minigame at that point, you know, trying to dodge the most lethal weapon. And with that, so Lord's already secured here. And so Indonesia will prep up and get ready. Shell just working slowly on that turret, obviously from range. They might force a situation again, just whittling down these health bars with a couple shots.
Man, Pink's already down to half, making a quarter now with the Nibiru's Passion 2, stun over to Lyrics. Curse Blast to help her to AOG, dodged away from with the Curtain Call already placed on them. I thought that would hit, but Chell was able to just space out perfectly as Cine has the Crimson Beacon, will use it to get away from the last weakness point that was about to be popped down by Lunar. She used the Inspire. Rafa in the bush and Lord in the bottom lane already spawning in, but Indonesia are just taking it as slow as possible.
Yeah. They're waiting for that wave to push in, and man, Rafa is starving for buffs and everything else on this Hayabusa. She might have to go ahead and just rely on the team. At least Vivian goes down. They do pick up a kill here for Saudi Arabia, so, and that was a revitalized popped as well from Vivian. So they work with this Lord. The waves are pushing in, top and mid. That Tier 2 in the bottom side finally going down. Where does Indonesia go from here?
Curtain Call with on 2. Fumieko! Cinevan just walks up and gets taken down. Lord in the bottom lane, already dealt with, kinda, right? You take him for a detour, get him to a point where he can actually just go for the free hits. That's a Tier 2 up top, but considering the lead, Indonesia really didn't get too much out of that Lord. You would expect all the all the Tier 2s to be taken down here.
Yeah, they hold on to 1, And that's the thing, you know, the biggest gap that we saw there in terms of the gold, obviously, is the jungle. Rafa's been struggling, but if they continue to buy time like this, they find a little, you know, pickoffs here and there because Indonesia is overextending a little bit, but maybe they're getting a little confident in what that pressure can do, then they should be able to punish and actually crawl back into this game. It is a long way to go for them, though, but they might get cut off here. Vivian looking to make a play. Not going to be able to get the sandwich, but there's the pathway.
The AOG to the back though, Vivian gonna be caught in a bad spot right now. She's gonna be talking down, but Lunar just burst it down. City with a Sky Piercer takes her out. Emiru's Passion and Fumi echo with a vengeance as Vivo dashes forward, gets the unstoppable 3-0. No lore, but they actually might be able to go for the end in the bottom lane.
That's gonna be tough here. 2 members left to defend this push. Some of the resources gonna be taken down. That turret's worked on from afar. They gotta clear out the minion. Raffle will do that, but whoa, the damage from Michelle, able to take out that base turret. Now eyes set here in that mid lane. Saudi Arabia will go ahead and have the rest of the members for this defense, so the Holy Shield's still up. They will pop now mid lane. Lunar taking the shot. You know, that last team fight, I was surprised at just how fast she got bursted down. You know, she was really looking for that airtime, but wasn't able to get it because of how fast she just got blown up.
It's too fast, man. For Indonesia, at this point, they have everything. They got the damage down, I assume. They have several executes. Early on, maybe we would just think about Viva when it comes to executing members, but Sydney, I think, has gotten to a very comfortable spot with the Sky Piercer to a point where it's a built-in execute. That's why you go Lantern Flare. That's why you go Sky Piercer on the Juicin. It's because of the Lantern Flare. You can just constantly put it on members, and it just becomes an auto-execute whenever someone gets low enough.
At this point, once again, surely this Lord will be one.
Pink?
They knock into the base. Pink could be in trouble. She's going to Avatar the Guardian defensively. Gets a distance, but that's unfortunate because now you don't have this ultimate for this push in. So, you know, she was trying to push that top wave in. Indonesia swings over. And now they get ready. They know they have that Lord. You have Vivo walking with it. So they're going to focus here on the top side. Eternal Guard gets dropped down. Pink
bursted down with the final slash as well. Just brought back everything. And the kitchen sink used at Pink. With the Revitalize too, you'd think maybe she'd be able to survive a bit longer. But at the bottom lane, the Lord has actually done quite a lot of damage over to the base, half HP. Lunar taking a half as well. Sydney now with the Crimson Beacon very aggressively. Able to stun. Lyrics still able to escape with the vengeance as Sydney just Lantern Flares and Sky Pierces her way to the kill. Limit is next to the chop block. Bill goes over the stun, but it's not going to be enough right now. Sydney flickers forward, looking for the final one and a shutdown for Lunar. But Indonesia will just go and take the base.
Indonesia doing what was expected with the lineup that they brought to this game. Very decisive once again, a synergy off the charts. Even if they got a little overzealous in some situations, some might argue, you know, that was part of the plan. They want to go ahead and just see how far they can test that limit. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did, and then they just collapsed down. And just a great draft now from Indonesia. Again, the experience and the tournament favorites for what they have here. A good attempt, a good try from Saudi Arabia, but you know, they obviously, when you have that first pick Hayabusa, this could be any assassin. You pick it up and you don't get even your buffs early on, you're going to fall behind very quickly to the point where you can't even contest objectives. So it gets very difficult. We saw that gap between the jungles, and again, hopefully for Saudi Arabia, they can have a better chance in their next games. But right now, this puts Indonesia, I believe, what, 3-0 in the group for now. They're definitely top yards.
I don't know about the average game duration, man, but I think